All right, if you're a freelancer, you know this feeling all too well. You pour hours into crafting what you think is the perfect proposal, you hit that send button, and then you hear absolutely nothing. Just crickets. Well, today we're going to change that. We are going to turn your proposal from just another document that gets ignored into a powerful strategic tool that actually wins you clients. Let's dive in.
It is one of the biggest frustrations out there, right? You know you can do the job, you know you're the right person, but your proposal just seems to vanish into a black hole. So why does this keep happening? Is your price too high? Do you not have enough experience? Well, what if I told you the real reason has nothing to do with any of that? Turns out, the most common mistake is actually the easiest one to fix.
And there you have it. The #1 proposal killer is just being generic. I mean, think about it. When a potential client reads a proposal that feels like a copy and paste job, it screams one thing: I haven't really taken the time to understand your specific problem. Let's be clear. Personalization isn't just a nice little bonus. It is the absolute foundation of a proposal that wins. So, how do we escape this generic trap? Well, it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop seeing yourself as just a service provider, someone they hire to do a task. Instead, you need to start positioning yourself as a strategic partner who is there to solve a real core business problem. This is the new way to look at it. Your proposal is not just a glorified price list. No, think of it as a strategic asset. It's this powerful document that builds trust and proves you get it before you even hop on a call. It is your first and, honestly, your best chance to prove your value right out of the gate. Oh, this is such a critical difference. A task-oriented approach just lists what you're going to do. I'll write 8 blog posts. Okay, great. But a value-oriented approach? That speaks the client's language. They don't actually want blog posts. What they want is the result those blog posts will get them. In this case, more organic traffic. Framing your work this way, in terms of their outcome, is an absolute game changer.
Okay, so once you have that strategic partner mindset locked in, we can start building the proposal itself. And here's the secret. You have to stop thinking in lists and start thinking like a storyteller. A winning proposal isn't a menu of services, it's a persuasive story that guides the client from their problem straight to your solution.
You see, every great proposal follows this clear narrative arc. You start with a hook to get them to even open it. Then you diagnose their problem, which shows you've been listening. It builds empathy. Only then do you present your solution. See how each step builds on the last? You're logically and emotionally guiding them to say yes. By the time they get to your solution, it feels like the only logical choice. And out of all those steps, please do not underestimate the power of that problem statement. This is your secret weapon. When you take a moment to restate their challenge, in your own words, you immediately stand out from the crowd. It proves you're an active listener and a thoughtful partner, not just another person blasting out mass applications.
And now, we get to the part that makes everybody a little nervous: the price. But here's the thing. Pricing isn't just about plucking a number out of thin air. It's a strategic communication tool. It signals your value, your confidence. Let's break down how to approach it the right way.
You've basically got 3 main models in your toolkit. Hourly is fine when the scope is kind of fuzzy, but it can actually punish you for being fast and efficient. Fixed fee is perfect for projects with a clear outcome because it focuses everyone on the result, not the clock. And then there's value-based pricing. That's the ultimate partner model. You're tying your fee directly to the return on investment for the client. The key is to pick the model that inspires the most confidence for each specific project. This right here is a powerful psychological shift. A cost is something a business wants to minimize, to cut. But an investment? That's something you expect a return on. By framing your fee as an investment in their business goals, you stop being a line item on a spreadsheet and you become a partner in their growth. This is how you justify higher rates. Okay, so you've diagnosed their problem, you've proposed an elegant solution, and you've framed your price as a smart investment. Now you have to answer the client's biggest unspoken question: why in the world should I trust you over all the other options? This, my friends, is where social proof comes in. Look, you can't just say you're great, you have to prove it. Case studies tell a compelling story about how you've solved similar problems for other people. Testimonials are powerful third-party validation from happy clients. And your portfolio? That's the direct, tangible evidence of your skills. You want to use all 3 of these together to build an undeniable case for why you are the safest and the best choice. And hey, if you're still on the fence about putting in the time to build this stuff out, just consider this one single data point. Freelancers who have a professional portfolio are hired, wait for it, 9 times more often.
Let that sink in for a second. Not 9%, 900%. A strong portfolio isn't a nice-to-have anymore. It's become table stakes if you're serious. We're almost there. We've built a strategic, persuasive, trust-building proposal. But even now, there are a few common tripwires that can sink all your hard work right at the finish line. So let's make sure you sidestep them.
Before you even think about hitting send, run your proposal through this final quality check. Does it feel a little generic? Go back and inject more of your research. Is the pricing confusing? Reframe it as a clear, bundled investment. Are you missing social proof? We know how to fix that. And for goodness sake, do a meticulous proofread. A simple typo can completely undermine all of your strategic work by signaling a lack of attention to detail.
And finally, don't let all your hard work to sit there in their inbox. Hitting send is not the final step. A simple, professional follow-up email a few days later shows that you're genuinely enthusiastic and it keeps your proposal top of mind. It is such a small action, but it reinforces your professionalism in a big way.
So after all this, what's your big takeaway going to be? Will you start framing your price as an investment? Are you going to spend more time nailing that problem statement? Or maybe, just maybe, you'll finally build out that case study you've been putting off. Look, the goal isn't to do everything perfectly at once. It's to make one strategic improvement in your very next proposal. That is how you turn that frustrating silence into a signed contract.